Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Johnny Nelson here in Wembley. How are things with you, Johnny?
I'm all right, thank you. You're one of the first ones here.
No, that's the reason we got this interview out of the way quickly. And first topic I want to bring up, Deion Jumah, Richard Riakporhe, this fight. It's not the fight that was originally scheduled, but domestic fight, and it's one I'm excited for, and I can imagine yourself is too.
It's probably better than one originally scheduled, to be honest. It's a London derby. You've got two unbeaten fighters that are familiar with each other. Yeah, you've got two fighters that one could take the place of the other in a heartbeat. One's in touching distance of a world title, and the other wants what he's got. It's got everything you'd want. Juma being a southpaw, speaks very confidently. He has a lot of confidence and belief in his ability, Richard is a fighter where he's learning on the job, and he's giving heart and soul to the game as well. But so is Juma. But it'll be a good game. It'll be a good fight.
What do you think Juma's going to be like coming into this fight? Obviously, he's had a 4-rounder recently, but before that, he hasn't fought since 2020, before COVID.
Yeah, I understand that. But as long as he's been gym active, then I don't really worry about that too much. As long as he's been gym active. Juma, the southpaw, he's strong. He plants his feet when he lets the shots off. Southpaws are a nightmare for most fighters, and Richard needs to either react well to a southpaw, and if he does react well, you get without the power he's got in the right hand. If he lets it go right, the timing's right, he'll get a knockout. Whereas Juma, that southpaw style, it can be a kiss and a curse for most fighters, and he wants it to be a curse for Riakporhe because there's not many southpaw cruiserweights around.
It really does seem like a blessing in disguise, the fact that Richard Riakporhe's first opponent fell through, and this fight has been made. Obviously, Ben mentioned ticket sales went through the roof when this was scheduled as main event as well.
Yeah, it does. That's what I'm saying. When he said it, I'm like, wow, that's actually a better fight. It's actually a good bill. And, the funny thing is, we're streaming some fights from 5 o'clock, and it's a pity they're not on the show because they're good fights on the whole bill. Of course, the main bill is what because he's looking for gold. He's the winner's looking for a world title shot eventually down the line. But it's a good, intriguing fight. As I said, Rich is still learning. Juma's very confident southpaw. Thinks he has his number. Very confident. That's what I like. You've not got one fight that's like I'm expected to lose. He's come to win.
Yeah, Azeez fighting on the undercard as well. It's not for the British title, but he's fighting a British fighter, Matthew Tinker, as well. Why is that?
No idea. But at the end of the day, every fight's important. Azeez is fighting the next opponent of his in the amateurs, and he said this guy gave me my arse. He gave me a good beating in the amateurs, and I like that story because I remember I was one of those fighters that had that same experience. And amateurs, it'll show how different the amateurs are from the professionals. So I think Azeez wants his fight more than a lot of domestic fights because he just needs to, as far as he's concerned, right or wrong. And you can imagine, being his opponent, he's thinking, I'll beat you once, I'll do you again. So again, this will be a really, really good fight.
I want to move on to AJ quickly. Obviously, it seems he's going to be fighting in June. Not sure who against, but is it something that we can 100% say with certainty now that he's going to be on Sky?
I know he's training. I don't know if he's gone Sky or not. I have no idea. That's not my business. My business is to talk about what you see. But I know he's training. I know he's just wants to get in the ring and fight, regardless of who it is. We've got to wait to hear from the horse's mouth to see who he's fighting, when he's fighting. And
it seems as if it's not going to be Usyk. No one's 100% sure whether it will or won't be. But if it's not, who do you think's the best person for him to fight?
I've absolutely no idea. If it was me, I'd make sure I got somebody that was a southpaw that would prepare me for the Usyk fight. There's not many unorthodox southpaws out there at heavyweight, but that's what I'd look at. And I'm not sure. He's knocked out 3 southpaws already, AJ has. So it's a case of, does it make that much of a massive difference to him, or is it a fact that he's just up against an outstanding fighter?
Do you think Luis Ortiz would be a good fight for him? It seems like Luis Ortiz might be fighting Andy Ruiz, but I'm sure that fight would be moved in order for AJ to fight him instead. Do you feel like that would be a good one?
I'd avoid Luis Ortiz like the plague. I just wouldn't go there. He's that guy. He's in the who needs him club. This guy can bang, he can punch. The spoils, the riches aren't good enough, to take such a massive risk. That's business. I personally wouldn't do it. Who's out there? I'm quite sure they'll find somebody. They'll find somebody that's respected enough, decent enough, but gives enough of a test and puts on a good fight.
Definitely. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but if he is on Sky, just how much of a boost is that after already what's been a great start to the year?
Of course, you know what? Sky have been in this business for 30 years, and they've proved their stayability. So I'm quite sure nothing's going to change. I've been here long enough to have seen it. So if he comes to Sky, or if he doesn't, I think it won't make a massive difference. It'll be a great boost, of course, but Sky get doing their business, getting on with business.
We're in Wembley now. Obviously, just under a month to go now till Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury. I just wanted to know what you make of obviously the recent shenanigans that Dillian Whyte not turning up to the press conference. Whether you think that's going to impact Tyson Fury at all?
Not at all. I understand why. The reasons Dillian's giving for not turning up to the press conference, and Tyson Fury. Listen, Tyson Fury is a lyrical genius. You get in front of him, he'll twist you up, and so Dillian's thinking, you know, I ain't gonna play your game. You know, I'm coming to fight. We've signed to fight. That's all I've got to do. So I don't get flustered by all that sort of stuff. What you need to concentrate on is fight night. Fight night is when it all happens. Fight night is when we see a massive difference. Obviously, you've got a side towards Tyson Fury because he's proved it. So Dillian Whyte has committed his heart and soul for this fight. So therefore, even though Dillian's lost in the past, you'd be a fool to write him off to say he's got no chance. You'd be an absolute fool. But you've got to lean towards Tyson Fury because he's proved everything and backed everything he said.
Where do you rank this, Johnny, amongst British boxing fights of all time?
I actually thought to myself, bar Tyson Fury and AJ, and obviously the Wilder trilogy, who is there out there that would fill Wembley out? Tyson's now in a position where he's got the right opponent and he's doing Wembley, and so he's got him elevated himself to that level again. I'd say a Tyson Fury and AJ would be a brilliant fight, no matter what. It'd be a great fight. So I rank this highly up there, but we've got to speak about that after the fight because we want to see how the fight turns out.
Just a couple more then quickly. Tyson kind of and his team believe that he's the only reason that it sold out so quickly and they're applying for 100,000. How much of it do you think is down to Tyson, but how much of it is down to Dillian as well, in your opinion?
Tyson Fury. It's got to be down to Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury is the man. He's the man that's beat down to Hardy 3 times. He's the man that's proved everything he said. Dillian Whyte has got to stamp up there and say, right, you know, I'm going to earn my place. He's got to earn his place. He's got to earn that position. He's got to earn that notoriety, that respect. Everybody knows who he is. He's got a lot of backing behind him, but he's got to earn the position Tyson Fury's got.
He should have already earned enough respect to get at least, I think he's got 0 tickets, I'm pretty sure, as well for the fight. That's pretty disrespectful, would you agree?
And that's probably why he's not done anything to help promote the fight, which I totally understand. If he's been given no tickets, if he's been given the shit end of the stick every time, I totally understand why he's doing what he's doing.
Why do you think that is, and like, what do you actually think about that? Because it's not great.
It's not, but you know what? I think, to me, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Tyson Fury's team, Tyson Fury, they're doing it for whatever reasons they want to do it, and so it's up to them. I don't get it, but you know, Dillian's dealt with it. How he's going to deal with it? Okay, do what you're doing. My job is just to fight. I'm not going to help you sell the fight. Take the fight. You know, you take all the tickets.
Well, appreciate your time, Johnny. Thanks a lot.